Welcome to another exciting episode of the podcast Empire. Today we have an unstoppable guest joining us, an author who has unlocked the secrets of leaving an incredible legacy through overcoming adversity. Her remarkable insights and experiences have touched the lives of countless individuals, inspiring them to rise above challenges and make their mark on the world. Jenn Roux is here with us today. So get ready to embark on a transformative journey as we delve into the wisdom and resilience of our unstoppable guest. She is one of 25 collaborative authors in the Unstoppable book series produced by Elsa Morgan. #1 series was a #1 bestseller. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be inspired as we explore the power of perseverance and the legacy we can all create. Let's begin this unstoppable conversation with Jenn Roux. Welcome to the podcast Empire.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor and a privilege to be here with you today.
It is absolutely amazing to have you because I know how passionate you are about helping people and really enveloping everything that is unstoppable in your family, your life, your friendships, your commitments, and your consistency. I'm really intrigued, Jenn, because I've been watching you online and things like that. What inspired you to write a chapter about overcoming adversity to leave a legacy?
There's a few different reasons why I chose to do this, but I think one of the biggest ones for me personally was this talk track that I hear people say to me sometimes. And I think that they say this to other women of, oh, wow, like you have it so easy. Wow, look at you're the co-CEO of a startup. And oh, wow, look how in shape you are, because I'm in the fitness industry. And I never talked about all the things that I had to overcome. I mean, I started to more in the last maybe few years when vulnerability was more of a thing. But, some of the things that I had to overcome growing up, it was less in style to share your adversity that you're overcoming. And it was more just like you get through what you get through and you either come out on top or you don't. You either stay down or you move forward. So I always had it in me that I really wanted to share. I've had these whispers throughout my life, and I discovered my passion for fitness and nutrition when I was really young. And I also didn't realize until I was a bit older that not everybody discovers a passion. I want to say that everyone probably has it, but I have friends that say, like, I don't know what I'm passionate about. And so what I think is really compelling, or what I thought was really compelling to want to share my story was, if you are somebody who has those whispers, if you are someone who has discovered your passion, don't think for a minute that you cannot pursue that passion in life. Because I personally had a lot of stories that I was told. I had a lot of things in my mind that made it feel like that my passions were not something I could make into my life's dream, and it was not something that I could pursue as a career. But I just didn't let that stop me, because I knew that what I had was something amazing and unique that not a lot of other people get the opportunity to understand about themselves.
That is just such an incredible insight. And it actually reminds me of Les Brown's quote. And it says, the graveyard is the most expensive real estate on earth because that's where our dreams go to die. So when you were talking about people who don't know what their passion are, I just think about all the lost opportunities for them as well. So bringing awareness to that through our stories, like you're doing in the Unstoppable series, it just shows hope and inspiration and maybe a new perspective for people to, change or move forward or change their perspective. And it's just, some valuable insights there. Now, what does unstoppable really mean to you?
Unstoppable means not letting anything get in the way of you pursuing your best life. It means you knowing what your dreams and your passions and your goals are, and not letting any adversity stop you from continuing on. Those bumps in the roads, those things that can stop you are things you should learn from. There are things that may elongate the time it takes you to get to the next goal or the end. I don't want to say the end goal. There's never an end, right? There's always something else. But unstoppable to me means it doesn't matter what's in the way. You have a broader vision of your life, and you're always constantly moving towards that, realizing that everybody in their life is going to have adversity. Everyone in their life is going to have moments where they don't feel like they're good enough. You're going to have people that tell you that you can't do it. You're going to have challenges getting the resources that you need. You are going to have so many things that get in the way. But unstoppable to me means you don't let those things make you quit towards the vision. You just use them to power you through. You figure out the way to get through them. You find the people and the resources, and you do the inner work. You do that inner work, and you consistently do that so that you can keep moving forward and really create that vision that you have for your life, whatever that may be.
Absolutely. It's not every day is going to be perfect. There's going to be those dips, right? And I love the way that you shared those golden nuggets then of, not every day is perfect, and it never is. But it's the compound effect, right? Like small little daily actions get us to where our goals want to be. So that's just another words of wisdom from you, Jenn. Thank you so much for that. Can you share maybe some specific strategies or techniques, maybe a little sneak peek into your chapter, of maybe something about how you've overcome adversity to leave a legacy as well? Because you've already shared so much and just taken us into your room. A little sneak peek into your chapter.
Well, I want to say that if you own a business, or if you aspire to own a business, take what I just said to heart, because it's one of the hardest things I've ever done. Now I'm a new mom, so motherhood is actually a whole nother frontier, and that's really hard too. I'll just say that. But entrepreneurship is a roller coaster. It's the highest highs and it's the lowest lows. And I say that against a backdrop of corporate life. I was an executive in corporate for years. I worked in a Fortune 100 company. I was a director, and that was really hard, really challenging, amazing career I had. But the highs aren't as high and the lows aren't as low, because the stakes aren't quite as high for you as when you own your own company. So I think that, if you're somebody who is out there, if you're just getting started, just know that it's not going to be all sunshine, butterflies, and roses. And I feel like there's people that want to tell you that. There's a lot of people that are going to try to sell you on making it easier. I want to tell you right now, one of the biggest lessons that my business partner and I have learned, especially in this past year and a half since running our company, Just Lean In, is that there's no shortcuts, and people are going to try to sell you on shortcuts. We've spent a lot of money on things that we thought were going to help us, and at the end of the day, I'll be completely honest with you. When I go back to my team and we talk about all the things that we've done and the things that we need to do moving forward, the main thing is the main thing. It's consistently doing some grindy things day in and day out. It's holding on to your hat when there's nothing to give you a dopamine hit, right? Like when it's continuing to post when no one's looking at your posts. It's continuing to reach out to people even when they are, leaving you as clients, or if they've told you no over and over and over and over and over again. I think getting a good sales rhythm and a really strong base of activities that you do is really most important. And we've gone on all these adventure, I'm going to call them adventures, where we've tried all these really cool strategies. Nowadays you get pushed these ads from all these different companies and they sound wonderful. And you're like, wow, that's just what I need to get more leads in today. And at the end of the day, The thing that has gotten us the most leads, honestly, is my business partner posting in groups that already know, like, and trust her on Facebook. Like, that's hands down. Now, does that mean that some of this, some other techniques and tactics that we've tried couldn't work with tweaking? No, that's not what that means. But, I think the thing is that if you really truly want to be a business owner, if you really truly want the entrepreneurial lifestyle, you have to know that it's gonna be literally like the highest highs and the lowest lows. It'll break your heart, and then it will also make you feel the most pride. It's an incredible journey. And you've got to keep it basic. You've got to focus on basics of your business. And not to say, not to say that you can't, like, kind of get into a rhythm and then go build stuff. Because, certainly when you're building a company from scratch, like, we are literally building this thing from scratch. It's not, we're not, we both came from a multi-level marketing background. We both worked with several different companies. That is really cool. And you build from scratch there to some extent. You're building your list, but your primary function is sales and marketing. And you already have somebody else who's creating the product, who's creating a lot of marketing materials for you, who's figuring out compliance, you don't have to be a CFO. Like, there is a lot more that goes into the business that gets really hard. So, building from scratch can be really hard, but you still need to just remember that the fundamentals and the basics are truly the biggest, most important things. And while you can go build new things in your company, you can build new products, you can build new services, getting the basics right is what's going to be most important. It's what's going to really fuel the business.
Oh, that is just some incredible words of wisdom there, Jen, because there are no shortcuts. You've got to do the work, the inner work, the outer work, the professional and personal development. You've got to grow and go with the ebbs and flows and just take that first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just fail forward, learn the lessons, have a strategy, have a plan, and coaches and mentors that have done what you want to achieve as well. And we see it so much, and I'm glad you highlighted it, because we see it so much online. It's like, skip ahead and take the shortcut and get 100K in 10 days.
Yeah. You're like, no.
No.
I really truly feel like after, I've been in business, my whole career has always been business. And now I just happen to be in fitness business because I love fitness and nutrition. That's truly where my heart is. Business and fitness journeys are very similar. Fitness journeys, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to get in better shape, even if you're an athlete like I am and you're trying to get someplace, it comes back to fundamentals. You need to get the fundamentals in place. Like, the fundamentals, if they're not working, you have no foundation. So once those fundamentals are in place, then you can start stacking things on, right? It's a pyramid. And there are certain things that, like, they're kind of like the cherry on top. With fitness, it's the same thing. Like, people come to me and they're like, oh, what time should I eat these things? And I'm like, well, what are you eating? Let's start with that. Because you can start with just cleaning up your diet, and it doesn't matter what time you eat them. Eating whole foods versus processed foods is just a fundamental thing, right? How much are you moving your body? You don't have to do all these fancy moves in the gym that you see these, like, Instagram people doing. You just need to do some basic movements. You need to get your steps in, right? Business is the same way. And to be truly successful is about being consistent with the basics and then understanding how and when to layer on. But if you've got cracks in your foundation, you really got to fill those things in first before you can build on it, or else you're going to have a house of cards, right? So you can be doing this, like, the fanciest diet in the world, but if you don't have your basics of you're getting your steps, getting your movement, getting your water, getting your, eating whole foods, then the rest of it doesn't really matter. It's all kind of people marketing and people who want you to pay for really cool things will tell you it matters, but it doesn't matter unless your foundation is strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Some very solid advice there. Now, you are an entrepreneur on fire. you've got your business, you're into fitness, you're changing and possibly saving people's lives as well with diet and nutrition, and fitness and exercise, which all ties into mindset as well, a healthier mindset. And we can, break those DNA generational patterns to leave a legacy as well. What would be 3 tips for anybody thinking about starting a business as well?
I'd say don't do it if you are trying to make money really fast. Don't do that. That's not a reason to build a business. A reason to build a business is you know in your heart there's something more that you want to do, and you're not feeling that fulfillment at a job. Because when you run your own company, you have the ability to create something that's going to bring so much value to the world. But most businesses fail, honestly, within a couple of years. It takes 3 to 5 years on average if you're building a company to even turn revenue. So if you're going into a business thinking it's just going to create you quick money, again, unless you're, there are some business models that you can walk into, but you're not building from scratch per se. You're building your own, book of business, maybe as a, in certain industries. But if you are going in and building a company from scratch, don't go in there thinking about like trying to get rich. That's not what that's about. It's about being of service to other people. It's about bringing value into the world that you don't see being brought into the world in other ways. So I think that's a big one, because I think that's a message that's misconstrued a lot, and can really get your mindset into the wrong place and maybe make you stoppable, right? You want to be unstoppable. You got to go in with eyes wide open that it's not going to be a money making machine right away. So the second thing is, surround yourself with people who can really support you. And as cliche as that may sound, working a startup, like, entrepreneurship, no matter what you're doing, can be lonely at times because you have so much to do all the time, and you're always kind of like in your zone. Now, I don't feel like what I'm doing right now is particularly lonesome, because I have because of a strong team. Like I've got a business partner. Before I was working for Just Lean In, I started my own company. So I was a solopreneur. I had a private coaching practice, and it was great. It was a great way for me to kind of go from being a staff coach to having my own thing and really trying different things, getting into my rhythm. But when you have different, nuances and permutations of clients, and you have new issues with business things, there's new information that comes out about nutrition, and I had no one really to kind of like bounce that stuff off of. So what's been really cool with our team is we have this like very close core knit team of people who have, very specific things they're very good at. Aside from that, I think that, I have Elsa is my business coach, and that's for a very specific reason. I mean, I was actually, working with her when I was in multi-level marketing to start out with, but she's such a smart business mind. And she also is just such a strong coach, like a mindset, like she's just amazing. So for me, having somebody who I know is impartial to the business results that I can go talk to every other week has been really powerful for me, because we can talk strategy, we can talk mindset, we can also talk about my personal vision for my life, which is bigger than just where I'm at right now. Like there's so many more things to it, there's a lot of strings that you can kind of pull together. So having like, a business coach, and then also I just, I've got like a really strong network that I've built through, I've been in different like masterminds and things like that. I've really invested in building my network. And I think that can be absolutely life-changing it is life-changing actually, because it gives you access to people who you can have conversations with, who can support you, who can cheer you on. I've got women who I'm really close to virtually now. I don't see them as in person because they're all over the country and all over the world, that I met at a mastermind I did in 2020. And we cheer each other on. We're in the same space. It was a mastermind for fitness entrepreneurs. We're in the same space, targeting some of the same people, and we still are online cheering each other on. So I think like that kind of thing can be really helpful, again, to kind of like boost you through like those highs. So surround yourself with people who will cheer you on and support you and, really help you get to that next level. And then I think the last thing is, don't be afraid to dream. Don't be afraid to have a big vision. I hid behind my dreams for a while, I think. And I don't want to say that. Like I'm actually quite pragmatic. I'm a big visionary dreamer. But I'm also very pragmatic at my core. Like I'm a strategist, like I want to have I have a vision, but I want a strategy to get there. So I went probably slower than other people necessarily need to go, because my husband and I had like a financial plan in place. I didn't want to just kind of like drop everything, but at the same time, the safe thing for me to do would be to stay in corporate. I mean, I was making six figures. There's a lot that's amazing about corporate, despite how villainized I feel like it is. I mean, if you work for the right company, I worked for an incredible company. I had an amazing career. I met some really awesome people. I had extremely varied experiences that actually I feel like prepared me for this part of my career. And I had security, both, from my salary, but also really great benefits. And so that would have been like the safe thing to do. But nonetheless, I had the whispers. I had this thing inside me that always felt like there was more, that there was something different, that what I was doing wasn't the path. And so I wasn't afraid of that dream. I just prepared myself to get to that dream, to get there. And even now, like I feel like I'm at this pinnacle where I'm running a company that, a coaching company. Coaching is my thing. I love fitness coaching. That's always been the thing that I do, that I gravitate towards. But even now I'm taking a step back to say, well, what actually do I want now? Like, what do I want next? Because no matter where you're at, I implore you to have a dream and a vision, like a bigger vision of who you are and what you want your life to be. Because then you're not parked anywhere, and even when you get to a place that feels like a destination, get to that destination and enjoy the outlook. I hate when people say it's just about the journey. It's about both. It's about both. And you don't just get to a journey and stay there. I mean, some people get one-way tickets, but if you are on a journey across the country, like, you're going to come back too, right? And then you're going to have another journey. Make it about both. Enjoy where you're at, and then keep dreaming. Go back and keep dreaming, and think about how you're going to get to another point in your life that's a part of your vision and your dream.
Absolutely. That was just so many golden nuggets there, Jenn, and so relatable, so authentic. I love how you really touched on, our network is our net worth. Really having a coach to bounce those ideas off and keep you on track and help build out that strategy as well, to really go on the journey, but celebrate the small and the big wins as well, and also be present. We don't want to get too busy planning our future that we're not enjoying the present either. What kind of message would you like to leave the audience on today?
So my late brother, one of the quotes that he always said, and what always inspired me to, what quite honestly, I think inspired me to listen to the whispers, was Eleanor Roosevelt's, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Follow your dreams. Like, there's beauty in those whispers that you hear. And don't follow your dreams, meaning like just quit everything you're doing, but work hard, figure out what that is. Like, do the work, work hard, but believe in your dreams. You know, don't be so pragmatic that you don't do the things that really set you on fire. And if you're not sure what sets you on fire, don't be afraid to explore and try to figure out what those things are, because there's something so wonderful. Like I don't even know that I have the right word to describe how great it is to have something that you really care that much about.
Oh, if we do something that we're passionate about, we have a strategy, we have a plan, it could only be sustainable and bring joy to the world and many others as well. Jenn, you are absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for joining us on this unstoppable, incredible episode with us today. We hope you found our conversation with this inspiring author of the Unstoppable book series as captivating as what I did. And if you're ready to embark on your own journey of resilience and wanting to leave a lasting legacy, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more empowering content. And while you're at it, we'd greatly appreciate it if you could leave Jenn a message in our comments so she can reply to you and connect with you as well. To dive even deeper into the Unstoppable book series, be sure to grab your very own copy and immerse yourself into all of the author's stories. And this will ignite your determination to push you beyond your limits, just like Jenn shared with us today. So to connect with Jenn, our unstoppable guest, check out the links below and stay updated on her latest insights and projects. And remember, it's never too late, like Jenn shared with us in all of her wisdom, to start your own unstoppable legacy. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you on the next Unstoppable episode. Thanks for joining us, Jenn.